Hey guys, so right now we're going to go through review 1 for quarterly 3. So for question 1 here, it says express the following fraction in simplest form only using positive exponents. So if you remember from this unit, the first thing that I recommended, similar to PEMDAS, is to start with the parentheses. So down here in the denominator, that -1 that is on the outside, we are going to distribute it into the parenthesis in the denominator. So when you distribute, make sure you don't forget that the 2, any numbers in there, will also get the exponent. Now the y already had an exponent, so power to a power, remember we multiply, so 4 times -1 is -4. And then we have c to the -1. The numerator we didn't do anything with, so the numerator is staying 4y to the 6th, c to the 10th. Now that we got rid of the parentheses, next all of these are being divided. Fractions represent division. So to divide anything with numbers after this point, I'm going to recommend that you plug straight into your calculator. So 4 divided by 2 to the -1. You should get 8. For the variables, when you're dividing, remember you subtract the exponents. So y subtracting, you're going to do 6 minus -4. So you're actually going to end up with y to the 10th. And then c, 10 minus -1, you're going to end up with c to the 11th. Now, because they said make sure that your answer only has positive exponents in it, we're good to go. If we had a negative, remember the negative would flip you to the other side. But because we're not dealing with any negatives anymore at this point, this is our final answer. Okay, question 2. Which of the following is equivalent to this fraction? Now remember, worst case scenario, use my little SAT trick. Pick a number for x, plug it into the original in the question, plug in that number for x into each answer choice, and whichever answer choice gives you the same number on your calculator, it will probably be an ugly decimal, but whichever answer choice gives you the same number on your calculator as the original is the correct answer. Now, to figure it out, if you notice, a couple things happened in all your answer choices. They're all dealing with some type of radical now, and nothing is negative. When you go to do these, I suggest you deal with the negative first, then we'll do any converting into radicals. So remember, negative exponents switch you to the other side of the fraction. We're probably more used to going from the top to the bottom. However, it does work the other way also. We can go from the bottom to the top. So we're going to switch this x to the top of the fraction. Its exponent becomes positive. But remember, there's no parentheses around that denominator, so the 3 is staying where it is. The 3 is not included with the exponent. Only the piece that has the negative exponent can switch to the top. From here, power over root. To rewrite this fractional exponent as a radical, your root is 2, your power is 5, and any root of 2, remember, is your regular square root. So normally we don't show the 2. It's implied that it is there if you do not see it. So the correct answer would be answer choice 2. All right. Question 3. Algebraically solve for x. When you're dealing with 2 exponents that contain variables, these are those questions where we try to get a like base. Now, for the first one with the fraction, if that one is throwing you off, think of it as just 16. So first, I normally try to take 16, raise it to a power to see if I can get that 128. Unfortunately, we cannot, so that one is not going to work. 16 is 4 squared. However, I cannot take 4 and raise it to a nice power to get 128 when I play around on my calculator. But we should know that 16 is 2 to the 4th. Now, in order to make it the fraction that we were originally dealing with, we just want to go and make that 4 a negative. So it's 2 to the negative 4. Now, the reason I liked using the 2 was because if you play around on your calculator, 2 to the 7th gets you that 128. So I can use a common base of 2. From here, we have power to a power on both sides. Make sure that you distribute each of those exponents. So on the left, negative 4 times negative 5x is positive 20x. Negative 4 times positive 3 is negative 12. On the right, 7 times x is 7x. 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. We can now cancel out the bases and set the exponents equal. And then we have a nice simple equation to solve. I'm going to subtract the 7x over and add the 12 over. So you should get 13x equals 5. Divide by 13. So x equals 5 over 13. For this one, definitely keep it a fraction. Do not give me the decimal answer. It is not a nice decimal. It's one that will go across your calculator screen. So leaving it as the fraction gives me the exact answer. Next question, number 4. Algebraically solve for x. So if I'm trying to solve for x, my goal is to get it by itself. So first thing I'm going to do is subtract the 7 to the other side. So subtracting the 7, you end up with 3 over the cubed root of x squared equals 108. From here, you do not want your x in a denominator. So if I were you, easiest option, put the 108 over 1, and we can cross multiply. So cubed root of x squared times 108 is 108 cubed root x squared, and it equals 3 times 1, which is 3. From here, the 108 was multiplying with that radical, so we want to divide it to the other side. So we have cubed root of x squared equals, on my calculator, I get 1 over 36 when I do 3 divided by 108. Now, if I were you, similar to how we did in a previous question, remember radicals, power over root. This is really x to the 2/3 equals 1 over 36. To get rid of the 2/3, we can take the reciprocal on both sides. Those exponents will cancel. On your calculator, you can type in 1 over 36 to the power 3 over 2. You get 1 over 216. And make sure, because your denominator is even, plus minus in your answer. If the denominator for the exponent you plug into your calculator is odd, we leave it as is. But when it is even, we need to make sure that we do the plus minus. Okay, next page, number 5. It says algebraically solve for x. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so my x is in the exponent. So my first goal, in order to try to get it by itself, I'm going to isolate my base with my exponent. So my first step, I'm going to subtract the 5 to the other side. So we have 2 times 9 to the x minus 6 power equals 38. From here, divide by 2. That 2 and 9 cannot multiply. One of them has an exponent, the other does not. So you can't multiply them, so your only other option is to divide it to the other side. Now, because there's only one exponent this time with a variable, these are the ones where you can convert into log Bay form. So currently our base is 9, our exponent is x minus 6. It equals the A answer, 19. Logs are Bay, so we're going to go into log Bay form. So we have log base 9 of 19 equals x minus 6. Now remember, I did say that you could download the graphing calculator, the TI-84 calculator. It is in the Google Classroom under distance learning, the website for it. It's only able to be downloaded onto your Chromebooks. But if you didn't bring your calculator home, here is an option for you. Works the same way as the ones in school. So alpha, window, choice 5 says log base. You can type in that log with a base of 9 to get your answer. Remember, if you are not done with the problem, which we are not, you are using the entire decimal. No rounding until you are done with the problem. So from here, we add the 6 over. Then you can round. It said round to the nearest hundredth. So 2 decimal places, so you should get 7.34. All right, question 6, word problems. We're going to have to think of our formulas. It says a town has a population of 4,000 and grows at 3.5% every year. To the nearest year, how long will it be until the population will reach 5,000? So the word compound is not showing up anywhere, so this is our regular growth formula. A, remember, is the final amount, so we want to reach 5,000, so that is our A value. P is the initial amount, so we are starting with 4,000. And R is the rate, which is the percent you see. Just make sure that you divide it by 100 or move the decimal place over on your own. Adding that to the 1, you should get 1.035. Solving this, it is just like the last question, question 5. We need to isolate the base with the exponent. Currently, it is multiplying with the 4,000. So we want to divide the 4,000 to the other side. You can leave it as a fraction over there if you want, 5 over 4, or this one is a nice decimal, 1.25. Just like the last one exponent that you are solving for means that we're currently dealing with a base, exponent, and answer. So going to log Bay form, we have log base 1.035 of 1.25 equals t. So once again, same thing with your calculator. Alpha, window, choice 5, type in the log that we are dealing with, and there is your answer. This question said to the nearest year. So whenever it's telling you to round to a specific